Hello, everyone. It's Space. Yes, I'm still here. It is another This Week in Review. My apologies. I know. It's been a very, very long time. Busy real life stuff, then the holidays, but I am looking forward to getting back into it. Today is January 5th, 2020. So let's start off the new year with a proper This Week in Review, shall we? Oh, and I already mess up. Okay, hold on. Where's the other thing? There we go. That's what I need. You can't see this because it's off screen, but I need this. All right. So let's first talk about clan rating. Clan rating is 84. Last time I did a This Week in Review was back in November. November the 16th was my last week in review. That is a really, really bad what would you call that? Consistency. We were 56 people, 56, and we're now 84. So clearly there are some things that we got to work on. As far as new people go, obviously there is a lot of new people. Ham, Mugs, Devil, 619 Pro Star, Ike, Badger, Swiss, Toast, Severed Eye, Cold Kill, and Hanuta. All new, and there's a few people that have left, which we'll kind of touch on that. So, Dragon, Emperor, Dirty, Half-Life, Lord Sidious. Let's see if anyone else. There were Lolly, Convict. There were a couple of people that left because of inactivity, but most of there's some people have kind of left, and we'll have to deal with that and talk about that. Now normally I deal with victories and such, so I will do continue that and do a shout out to I might actually give this guy 500 gold pieces to change his name, because that's a little frustrating for me to make a video about CYZ and Ober, all with above 60s and in those numbers. So that's pretty sweet. All right, win 8. Now, this is what the primary thing, if you don't mind me giving you a little hint what my video is going to be about. So, recent win 8. Hanuta, the new guy that I just sort of called out. Mole, Northern Lion. Northern Lion hasn't been on in like forever, so he's always up here. Plausible Dread, Strider, Ober, Ike, Mr. Diablo, Devil, Baby Talker. There's a stop at Funny Alex, because I like Funny Alex. All with really nice recent win 8s. Global map. Now, I would have liked to do a week in review right around the time that we finished, because I think that would have been, helpful and important and, all around nice. But like I said, just didn't get around to it. That was pretty frustrating, and I do apologize to you guys for doing that. So we left the global map ranked 58. I wrote down 0 because, the global map isn't on, but it's going to start up again. Also another reason why I thought it was important for me to get back into this. Our ELO is currently 959. It was 947. So it's doing okay. Gold Treasury was basically cleared out, if you want to call it that. I don't know. So we're down at 544. And I guess what's kind of important on this point is the clan has paid out majority of the gold that it has earned. And I think that that's important, and I agree that that's, the way that it should be. So most of it has been cleared out. All right, skirmishes. Lots to talk about here. So skirmishes, 40% win rate in tier 8 in the past 7 days. I could obviously do 28 days because that's realistic. I could do even more than that, but I'm just going to go back into the routine of doing the last 7 days. So 40%. We had 32% wins the last time I did a week in review. We had 11 battles. Again, we only had 8 when I left off. It was clearly sort of towards the end of the Clan Wars, so I would like to see this number sort of pick up again a little bit. 27 active players versus 40 active players back in the last time I did the video in November. So again, these numbers are low, somewhat to be expected, but it would be nice to, as we enter into the Clan Wars, that we saw this number increase significantly. So in the past 7 days, shout out, I'll call out to JC and Sortek, 7 games and 71% win rate. That's quite nice. Shooting, nice win rate, a little bit less numbers. Ike, 62% win rate and 8 games. That's very nice. And then I will say a shout out to Blood, Panzer, and Baby for some significant numbers of Clan Wars. So a lot of participation. That's nice to see, and decent win rates in those as well. 7 days in advances. Okay, so here we have a 39% win rate. When we left off back in November, it was like 36, 32, so that's a little bit bump up. We have 15 battles, averaging 15 battles. Last week in review, it was like 12 and 13. And again, big difference here in numbers is the number of active players. We only have 36 active players in this past week. When we left off in November, it was 52. So again, it would be nice to see these numbers go up, and as we enter into Clan Wars. So shout out to Tree, Ike, and Gamaris. I'm going to skip down here to Gamaris, even Exervius, Zaw, and Panzer, all with a decent number of games and better than 50% win rates. And I guess out of this bunch, I'm going to say probably Zaw, 23 games. You know, as far as like the most amount of games. I mean, shout out to Bleachman and Tanker and O'Hayward. You know, they also have really good win rates, but slightly less numbers, right? So I think the guys that played not only a lot of games, obviously the guy who played the most amount of games, but I also thank the guys who had really stellar win rates. So that's cool. Global maps. Oh, this is like 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, it's obviously supposed to be 0, 0, 0 because there's no Clan Wars right now. So we left off with a 45% win rate last week in review, 6 battles, and 59 players in attendance, or in active players, I guess is the terminology that we use. So I would like to see that same number or close to that number when Clan Wars starts. Be prepared. Prepare yourself. Okay. Now, normally there's an interview. I'm not going to do an interview this time around because I'm trying to get to all of this stuff. I'm going to bring up something because I'm going to try and do something, I wouldn't say like politically correct. This isn't like I'm going to try and sort of hide as much as I can, but I want to talk about win rates and win eights and clan activity and clan obligation. And I guess let the majority of the clan know that we've noticed some things. We've been asking ourselves a couple of questions. We've been doing self-assessment, evaluation, and we've kind of come to something that we want to look at and pay attention. So when you look at this person's WattLab scenario, really high win rate, really good recent win 8, and over the period of 24 hours, 7 days, and 30 days, and 60 days, like, I mean, all of that looks great. Now, and I want to be clear about this, individually, you can do whatever you want. No one, I don't believe anybody can come in and say you can't play that tank, or you're not doing this, or this isn't what this is about. This is about from the clan's perspective and the clan's performance perspective, because this clan, and I asked Sortek this very question this past week, is this still a competitive clan? And the answer unequivocally, very quickly, was yes, it still is. So the thing that the clan has to do then is evaluate these numbers against what tanks. So here we see tier 4, tier 5, there's a tier 9 in here, but only 2 games. Tier 2, tier 3, right? 36 games in a tier 5, 72 games in the T67, tier 3, 3, and a 5 again. So are these purples a beautiful shade of purple? Absolutely. Are they in tanks of any value to the clan? No. Are they in tanks in value for the individual? Yes. You know, some people might look at this and say, hey, this is, you know, this is good stats, this is a good player. But as a clan, we have to delve a little bit deeper. Now, in contrast, let's look at another individual. So here, stark difference, right? Green, not blue. Even recently in the last 24 hours, you know, the low end of the green, like below the 1000 win 8. But let's look at the tanks that this individual is playing. And now we see something very, very different. 8s, 9s, 10s, 8s, 10, 10, 8, 9, 7, 8. All purple games. Now, mind you, in this scenario, it's, you know, only one battle. Let's see. So this person didn't play a terrible amount of games in the past 7 days, but you know, you know, all of their sort of top amount of tanks that they're playing are mostly 8s and 10s. So is this amount of games and this win 8 different for the clan, different in its evaluation? Yes, it is. And it's a very different contrast between, you know, these upper numbers versus, you know, what tank is being played. So let's take a look at another individual. So again, 60%, 59, 60% win rates really give great win 8s. But when you look down again into the numbers with the highest win 8s, you're seeing tier 5s, 3s, 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 4s, 4s, 2s. Right? And if we look at how many battles, we have 35 games in a tier 10. Okay, that's, you know, at least a bunch of tier 10s. But then 17 in 6, 14 in 3, 2, 3. So again, are these numbers telling the clan something different than what these numbers are telling the clan? In contrast, again, another randomly picked member. Not bad in the past 24 hours, but you can see over the past 7, 30, and 60 days, much worse win rate, much different win 8 over the sort of overalls. But let's look again at what tanks that they're playing. So 10s, 9s, 10s, 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 almost only 10s. And when you look at the win 8s, no, that's not the right. So very, at least in this bunch over here type of thing, better win 8s, or more, maybe more appropriate, I guess, win 8 numbers for the tanks that the clan would be sort of interested in. And we look at how many, when we look at battles, again, 3 games in a tier 10, 2 in tier 10, 2 in tier 10, 2 in tier 9, 2 in tier 10, 2 in tier 10, 1 in tier 10. So basically this individual is almost exclusively playing tier 10. And these numbers, again, some of these numbers are not, you know, great, but they tell us a little bit more, I guess, about the clan. Or they tell us a little bit more about the player in a context that the clan wants to know about. So I bring all of this up because I do, for example, look, you know, do this video, do this win 8, and I do the skirmish numbers and everything like that. But I'm starting to realize that these numbers are different, or they may not have the meaning that we have, and I'm not 100% sure that I should even do this evaluation anymore. And as a clan, we may be looking deeper into the individual's tanks that they play in a recent spectrum, as well as a overall spectrum when it comes to this next clan war. And why? And the only reason why is because the ultimate condition that we're trying to achieve is we're trying to be a competitive clan. So I will talk about what that means relative to me. I do not like playing heavy tanks. I don't play heavy tanks. Do I have an Object 277? Yes. But should I be picked in a 277? No. Plain and simple, no. There has got to be someone else in this clan that, irregardless if I've played or not played, irregardless of who we're going up against, the fact of the matter is that they should be picked over me. And am I going to be like offended by that? No. Is it actually the only thing it's going to do is convince me that I have to play my 277 more and get better at it if I want to get picked in it? I should be playing the tank that A, I'm very good in, and B, the tank that I'm very good in and also like to play, want to play. And there's potentially even a third scenario, which maybe at some point we might look at, and that is, when was the last time that you played that tank? Because I may be fantastic in a E5 heavy at tier 10, but when was the last time I played that E5? Is that E5 at all relevant? Does that, the fact that I'm good in that E5, does that make me by default good in the 277 and therefore of value to the clan in a clan war? I'm not 100% sure that it does. And we need to, if we really truly want to be a competitive clan, we need to start looking at these numbers and looking at these things and deciding how can we better pick teams and people and tanks so that we can, at the end of this, improve on our numbers and get better. I hope that everybody enjoys this video. It's been a long time, and again, I say sorry. I will endeavor to make more. I hope that nobody views these videos as like shaming or criticism. Everybody's stats are everybody's stats, and privately and individually you can do whatever it is that you want to do. But from a clan perspective, there is obviously things that we have to look at. We have to look at, analyze, and make decisions on. And I hope that everybody respects that and can actually use it, I guess, is maybe, look at it not as a negative, not as a bad thing, but look at it as a positive thing, as a thing to improve on their gameplay and what they can, basically the value that they bring to the clan. Anyways, that's it for Space. That's it for January 5th, 2020, people. Happy New Year. I hope to see you all in a week.